Okay, so good day everyone. I am Jasmine Fernandez, and today I am going to furthermore elaborate sorry, subsumption theory. Okay, so um, in the previous slides that discussed, we knew that Ausubel believes that a mind subsumes through a process or a hierarchy process. So, and um, he also believes that um, it is more the better way for a learner to learn is through experience. So, yun nga, diba? So, human mind subsumes through a process. So, meaning there's an old knowledge, yung old knowledge that we acquired throughout the years that we experience. Then, we link this prior knowledge or new knowledge to a new knowledge na therefore meaningful learning takes place. Okay, so to furthermore explain this, let's tackle the four processes of meaningful learning. So the four processes of meaningful learning are the sorry, the derivative subsumption, correlative subsumption, superordinate learning, combinatorial, and lastly the combinatorial learning. Okay, so I'm sorry for about my voice. So first one is the derivative subsumption. So derivative subsumption is adding a new information to an existing knowledge that a person has. So in here, we are going to only add knowledge through a certain through a certain through, sorry excuse me, to a certain knowledge that a person have. So it is only adding. For example, a kid knows that a parrot and Maya are birds. He knows that a bird is an animal that have it is an animal with wings and flies in the sky. So when he saw a sparrow which looks unfamiliar to him, but since it has wings and it flies, he'll know or she'll knows that it is also a bird. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. So in here, uh, let's assume that the kid only saw a parrot and a maya, and he learned that a little bird. The bird is an animal with wings and flies. So nung nakakita siya ng sparrow, his knowledge, dito, na dagdagan ito na yung knowledge niya about sa birds ay nadagdagan. Nalaman niya na may iba pa palang species ng bird which is the sparrow. Because a sparrow has also wings and flies in the sky. Okay. So, yun yung derivative subsumption. It is adding a new information to an existing knowledge. Okay. So, add lang siya. Add lang siya ng add. For another example na nakita ko sa Google, yung about sa fruit. Si Bata, he knows that a fruit is a juicy and sweet um, a sweet thing that grows from a tree. Okay? So, ang alam lang niyang fruit is the apples and oranges kasi yun lang yung common sa kanya. But when he saw this unfamiliar looking strawberry, hindi pa niya nakikita or natitikman, he knows that um, nung natikman niya, it is juicy, it is sweet, so therefore he knows that it is also a fruit. Nadagdagan yung knowledge niya about sa fruit. Okay, so let's move on to, correlative subsumption. So correlative subsumption is the elaboration of the knowledge that is previously learned. So in here, the knowledge will expand and will elaborate. So for example, since the kid knows that a bird is an animal that has pair of wings that flies in the sky, tapos let's say that he saw a chicken and an ostrich. Uh, Chicken and ostrich are also birds, and they both have wings, but unlike the other birds, chickens can only fly lower than other birds, and the ostrich can't. Sorry for the typo. It's can't. Okay, ostriches can't fly. So the reason behind it is because some birds are big that their wings cannot support their weight to fly. So nagkakaroon ng elaboration. So nalalaman pa ni Kid that um, there are many species of birds and some birds can't fly. Nagkakaroon ulit na elaboration. Nagkakaroon ng add pero mas nagiging elaborate na nagiging malawak na yung knowledge ni Kid. Okay. So let's move on to superior innate learning. So these are the things that you are familiar but not yet knowledgeable until the concept is taught to you. A new concept is learned under which already established ideas can subsume. So now may idea na si Kid na now you know that most birds fly but some of them cannot. And now you were taught that the birds that flies are called avas and the chicken and ostriches that don't fly are in the group called galliforms. So naging familiar na si Kid that sorry, naging familiar na si Kid that there are many species of the bird and some of them cannot fly. Okay, so meron na siyang familiarity and dito tinuro sa kanila na there is a name to each groups of birds na dito yung lumilipad, yung sparrow, yung maya, yung parrot, they are called the avas. Okay, then the chicken and ostriches and the other birds that cannot fly are called galliforms. Okay, so the last one is the combinatorial learning. Okay. It is when the newly acquired knowledge is combined to prior knowledge to enrich both concepts. So, for example, tinanong ni teacher, tinanong ni teacher na, oh, how does a bird fly? You answered, the bird needs energy. And what do the bird do to have energy? Okay. You will answer that and you will remember that you as a person or as a human, you need to eat in order to have energy. Tapos, may incorporate mo siya dito sa panibagong concept na the bird needs to eat to have energy to fly. So nagkakaroon siya ng connection to other concept. So I hope you got it. Okay. For another example, ganito na lang. So si tao, he needs food and energy to perform throughout the day, and also the bird. So paano naman si car? Diba? He also needs energy. But what kind of energy does he need? Fuel naman sa kanya. Kung sa atin at sa bird is food, sa car naman is fuel. So ito na nga, diba? Nagkakaroon na siya ng link to other concept. Okay, so let's move on to advanced organizer. Advanced organizer proposed by Ausubel are a tool that teachers use to give information or a hint to the lesson that will be discussed. Organizers are made to make information easier to remember. This is what we usually call graphic organizer. It is not the summary of the past lesson or the structure of the present lesson. Rather, instead, it is a structure of a student's thinking. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so the benefits of advanced organizer is connecting prior knowledge to a new knowledge made easier. And number 2, concepts are easier to understand and connect to, to one another. It is also gives the overview of the whole lesson. Okay, so as a teacher, we need to actually, as a teacher, we need to find new ways kasi. Ausubel kasi, uh, he argues that um, in some or in most of teaching, what do you call this? Teaching theories, ang ano lang, ang trabaho lang ni teacher is to feed information and nothing more. But in here, kaya niya pre-post ng advanced organizer because he believes that there is more than that, na hindi lang tayo as a future teacher, we don't, hindi lang tayo mag-feed ng information, but rather we need to link it, um, to have better, more understanding. Hindi lang yung magsasaulo sila ng, what do you call this? They will only memorize things, but they will need to learn it, to link in their knowledge, hindi lang memorizing. So, concepts are easier to understand and connect to one another. It is also gives an overview to the whole lesson. So, kasi, kaya we need to give the children an overview is for them to have a thinking to make the lesson more engaging. Okay, so let's move on. So there are types of graphic organizers. So the first one is the which is expository. It is a more detailed organizer which presents students with what they will learn and the other information that are hard to process. It gives students a broad idea before starting the new lesson. So for example, I gave Miss Pelesardo gave us the learning objectives. So ina-expose na namin kayo dito pa lang sa learning objectives. We are exposing you guys to what we will learn. Ganun yun. So, di ba dito, to be able to discuss and understand Ausubel's meaningful verbal theory and subsumption theory. So dito pa lang in reading the learning objectives, you will know that this is the things that we need to learn. We need to learn its purpose and to be able to apply it. So we are already exposing you to how this or what you will learn in this module. So yun yung expository. Dito pangalan, di ba? Sa expository. So exposure. Okay. So next slide. So narrative takes a form of a story. It can be a personal or just another story. It might seem unconnected, sorry for the typo, to the main lesson, but it stimulates the student thinking. So, di ba, we have some teachers that loves to tell stories. But these stories kasi is also a strategy to engage with your students. For example, di ba, minsan, yung mga teacher natin, lalo na high school tayo, ang kilig nila na i-incorporate minsan yung lesson nila about love kasi yun yung interested yung mga bata in that age in high school. Students are very interested in that topic, which is love. So if they are incorporating it, they might some teachers pa nga nagkukwento ng ng mga experiences nila minsan nga tinitake nila yung kalahati ng oras nila just to tell a story. But minded people na they are not just telling stories. Actually, it is a strategy to stimulate our thinking. Kasi minsan diba, hindi mo na hindi mo siya marirealize kaagad as a student. But when you hear the story, mo siya, ma-stimulate yung thinking mo. Kumbaga na-warm up yung process ng thinking mo. So the next topic will be skimming. So the preview, so ito is previewing the important information. So for example, before the lesson starts, the teacher will ask the student to skim an article. Okay. So, ano dito, minsan, dito yung ano dito, yung, di ba minsan, some teachers gives us 60 minutes to look at the things that posted on the blackboard. So, 60 minutes ulit, 60 seconds. In here, hindi lang basta-basta yung article na ipapabasa sa student or yung what do you call this? Yung IMs na makikita sa blackboard. Yung mga yung mga headings, yung mga titles, subtitles are in different color and fonts and sizes. Why? Because in order the reason behind it is to catch the attention of the student. Pag na-catch mo yung attention ng student, there's a chance na matandaan niya yun. So, while the lesson is advancing, naaalala niya kung ano yung in-scheme niya. So, there will be more interactive dun sa lesson. So, matatandaan niya na, I've read this a while ago. So, ano lang siya, tawag dito, hindi siya yung binabasa mo, but rather, it is just, catching your attention and retaining it into your mind. Para pag nag-advance yung lesson, smooth process lang siya. Okay. So, the next one is the graphic organizer. This provides students on important information in the lesson. These information are presented visually. So, ito, yung mahilig gawin ni ma'am. Diba, pag nagbabasa tayo ng modules, usually lagi tayong nakakakita ng mga graphic organizer and it's very helpful. Kasi since ako, madalas pag nag-aaral ako, tinatandaan ko lang yung mga pangalan, yung mga major information. Saka then there's a little bit na lang dun sa mga meaning nila. Kumbaga naghahanap na lang ako ng keywords dun sa meaning. Pero mas nagre-relate sa akin yung yung main topic thanks to this graphic organizer. It makes my studies easier. So I hope it helps you also. So the next one is the application of the principles. So in this theory, discuss that the teacher should present first the general ideas before going into the details of the lesson. Sorry. So Ausubel called it the progressive differentiation to increase the stability and clarity of anchoring ideas. So spiral approach ito. Ipe-present mo yung lahat ng ipe-present mo lahat ng lahat ng itatackle nyo, and then babalikan mo siya pa isa-isa. Okay. So para magkakaroon ng retention sa memory ng bata and magkakaroon ng link dun sa knowledge ng bata. Okay. So instructional material should attempt to integrate new material with previously presented information to comparisons and cross-referencing of a new and old ideas. That is why he proposed the advanced organizer. Kasi dito sa advanced organizer, nagiging mas highlighted yung main idea. So, nagkakaroon ka ng comparisons. Okay, so next is I will end this report with a quotation from David Ausubel. So people acquire knowledge by being exposed directly to it rather than through discovery. Okay. So thank you so much for listening and bearing with my voice. So I hope you learned a lot today. Thank you so much.